Hi everyone, this is my new game. It's based on ancient Egypt and it's about scoring points. So those two things go hand in hand. But there are two sheets to every game. It will be a area sheet and it will be a trial sheet. So the idea is that you're Pharaoh and you have gotten this trial from a god. In this example, we have the trial of Ra. And it is unique to this experience. And those of you who have already seen it, I have drawn a lot of inspiration from sudokus. And it is a solitary experience. This is only played by yourself and not by, it is not a multiplayer experience, basically. So let me just take you through the game step by step. What you'll do in the beginning is that you'll grab 6 dice. You'll have 2 dice that you'll roll each. You'll roll them a lot, basically. And then you have 4 dice which are considered offerings. But I'll get to those later when we get to that. So what we do in the beginning of the game is that we roll 2 dice. I rolled a 5 and a 6. We add those together and we get 11. So the thing we can do now is that in this row we can plant a palm tree. And I kind of want it to be, well, let's just plant a palm tree here because then it crosses the line, which will come in handy later. So let's just plant a palm tree here. Like so. That is obviously a palm tree. And now we have 2 numbers, a 6 and a 5, that we will place in this mess down here. So we have 5 things we can draw on our map. We have a village, road, obelisk, date palm farms, and we have a temple. And the way we place them in the area is constricted to the rules over here. I'll get to those later. But more importantly to know is that we'll start small in this village and we'll expand from that one. You can go across the river, that's easy to do. You just draw a bridge over, like a road. All right. So now we have a 5 and a 6 we want to place in all of this stuff. So we basically want to have more villages because the way we score is by these 4 like commandments that our God has given us. So he really wants, or like the God really wants, 2 villages adjacent to a temple, which gives us 5 points for every 2 that's adjacent to a temple, and 1 point for each village connected to a temple via road. Date palms score 5 points if they're in a cluster of 2. And an obelisk scores 1 point if it is adjacent to a temple. Alright, so let's see. We have a 6 and a 5, and let's just place it right here. So what you're going to aim for when placing down numbers is to exceed or like be equal or exceed this number. So this number is a 6, meaning that I want to get a 6 or higher sum of those numbers that are in here. I have a 6 and a 5, which is 11, which is way too much. But I just want to get a 1 number higher. I have now fulfilled this little objective, which means that I will scratch this one out. And I now have sorry about this, a village to place. I can place it right here. Small village with more people. All right, I really want these 2 villages to be connected to a temple. But let's see if I roll something that I can use. All right, so that's the box thing. As you also can see, we have some weird gray worms in here, but it is actually a thermometer, as taking inspiration from sudokus. So what you want to do with thermometers is that you want an ascending number line going from the bulb to the end. So a legal number thing could be like this, 1, 2, 3, or it could be like 3, 4, 5. It could also be, let me just do like so, it could be 1, 2, 6. It doesn't matter that they are like in a with one number apart. They can just have to be ascending. When I have fulfilled like a thermometer, I get a +4 number to place in any square in this in each of these features. The way I also can place numbers is from the bottom up in the village. Like the arrow directs the way, like the flow where you can place numbers. And down here you can see the correct placement rule for when you must place numbers. Like if I had a 6, I can place it right here, and that would be legal. I don't have to like fill this row. All right. So let's imagine I rolled a 10. I rolled 2 5s. So now I can place a palm tree right here. And now I have 2 palm trees. And as you clearly can see, that's a palm tree. Each guard will have a different benefit they provide. So Ra provides the benefit of when you roll a 7, I can play, or we can place a village in areas that have 2 palm trees. That has 2 palm trees. So I can place a village there when I roll a 7 again. But I have rolled 2 5s. All right, I can place them like, let's place them here. That gives me 2 roads out of the gate. So 1, 2. And I'll place those up here. Let's do it like this, because I'm counting on getting a village there and a temple in here. All right. Let me tell you about how offerings work. So offerings were the 4 dice that we were rolling in the beginning and placing on these 4 squares. So we will have a die sitting on top of these squares. So they could be a 1, 3, 4, and a 6. So if I have rolled a die that I don't want, immediately after that, I can make an offering. So I could take a 5 and use that 5 to get like this 1. So I will place my die right there and get the number 1 back, which could be useful in some cases. And I guess that's it. Please let me know if you have any questions. I would much like to hear them.